draft phase. So if you do that, you do it later on. If you see that your opponents don't have the best of dives. Problem is, if your opponents are Immortals, they're very, very good at diving people, and they play very fast. So.
Yeah. Well, seems like it's going to be a Ragnarok to try to match that speed, as Olaf is locked in for Phoenix One. Gnar going to be taken by Brandini. Bit of Zig emulation here.
I love it. Take the Olaf into Reingover, you know, test your mettle against the OG guy. Plus, you know, into Rek'Sai is one of the preferred matchups here. See what they decide to counterpick Gnar with, though. Aurelia's on the table. That's something that Huni put a lot of time in right after she got changed, or right after the Trinity Force got changed. She became very popular. So that is definitely an option for them. The other ones I really like to see that we haven't seen have been the Yasuo and Lissandra. Those are two kind of old school picks into the Gnar. But I think it's only Expression in LCK in Korea has really used that particular counter pick recently.
But they will fall back to that Alawi, locked in once again for Huni. And this time it's Adrian taking Taric.
All right, so they are going to take away the Taric from gate. That's one of the things we did mention in game number 1. It wasn't impactful in game number 2 because they lost so much control early. But I do like the steal away here from Adrian. And Immortals also are, you know, testing their hands at the new different melee supports that have taken a little bit longer to catch on in North America, honestly. And Taric is one of the ones that takes a long time for not just the support player, but the whole team to get used to playing with. The delay on the ultimate's quite large, and you really want to have the Sivir ultimate or something else to ensure that you get that team fight when it comes down at the right timing.
It's going to take some big coordination, but if anything, Immortals are the team that has that. Now Phoenix One, 7 seconds left as they look at their final ones. Vayne locked in for MASH.
And the Zillion to boot. I like it. The blind Zillion here for Phoenix One. And the assists for Olaf. Not a lock-in, by the way. Oh, no. I think that's a visual bug, actually, by the way, because Vayne was locked in.
That's Vayne.
That's just a visual bug on the Warwick there. Nice troll graphics. But yeah, that is going to be MASH mixing up the 80 carry pool once again. We mentioned the Kalista good into Sivir. One of the other old champions that was good into Sivir was the Vayne. Now, Vayne not great in the current state, but that has not dissuaded Phoenix One ever. And there we go, all corrected. You see, that is the true composition as Vlad does round that out for Immortals, and that is a lot of backline dive. Sivir assisting everybody here. The Alawi, Vladimir, Taric rush.
Oh boy, that's a scary team to rush onto you. But Phoenix One looking to take this series in game number 3. They're putting their eggs in the MASH basket. Can he get the outplays? He's going to have some big utility to support him.
It's going to be a highlight reel if he does, because you can, you know, side tumble these tentacles. He's going to be trying to dodge all this Sivir speed boosted people in team fights, and I think that Phoenix One might just try and split the map, honestly. They do have speed to disengage, so they might be able to benefit. I mean, definitely the 80 carry matchup benefits Phoenix One if they're able to get some alone time. You know, once Vayne does get the one-on-one with Sivir later into the game, you know, Blade of the Rune King's completed. It's easy pickings if you can find something.
Yeah. Coaches shake hands for the final time, but we got to ask, is this it for Phoenix One? Can they finish this series and secure the win? Shout us out on Twitter. Use hashtag P1win or hashtag IMTwin as we load in. Immortals already secured that 2nd place in the playoffs, looking to go into that set with confidence. Whereas Phoenix One rising from the bottom, trying to take yet another Titan down.
Yeah, still testing the waters here too. You know, a couple of different looks here from them, bringing back the Vayne, the blind Zillion here for Pirean in mid, and see if he can have a better game this time around. We talked about the, you know, mental fortitude they're going to need. Him specifically had a pretty rough game, so you need the team to kind of rally around you when something like that does happen, to have the confidence to come back.
That confidence is so important. We've seen what Immortals can do with it. If they just get few minutes to reset in between games, just ban the Mordekaiser, get rid of that, cleanse your palette, turn it around. But now Phoenix One trying to do the same. We do have a bit of a pause loading into this. We're going to get that resolved as quickly as possible. But Phoenix One, again, it can't be stated enough. Starting off 0-9 and then showing that they can recover, showing that they have that resilience. If they take this win, they lock down that 8th place spot in the standings, and that means they do get the higher seed going into the promotion tournament as well. So transitioning forward, things are looking good for them if they can take this win here.
Yeah, they're all about self-improvement, looking for opportunities to grow as a team right now. This is the best experience that you can possibly get on the LCS stage.
Exactly.
And they're making use of it. I mean, Immortals is the best scrim partner that you could have.
Yeah.
And this is in a competitive set where they're trying very hard because you took game number 1 off them. You really get to test a lot of your limits.
Well, it is about time for us to get onto the Rift as we've got everything resolved. Everyone races out. It's Phoenix 1 taking on Immortals in Game 3.
Quick rush to the brush. Let's see if we can get another first blood. It's just a 2-man though fan here. Just going to be vision wars for everybody as we fan out into defensive play along the river. They do see the ward placed here by Pirean in mid.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Pobelter giving a bit of emote spam. Just keep the fingers warm, you know.
Now, if we do have standard lanes and they keep it there, Alawi shoves the lane always. And Gnar can play kind of defensively and boomerang spam and just kind of dodge for a while and let her push up a little bit and make herself vulnerable and might attract some jungler attention. Now, you always do have to worry about, especially if it's Huni and Reingover, counter ganks being prepped and Rek'Sai in the area. And the threat of Alawi turning around something like that is very big because she has all that AoE. Here we go, though. The blind swaps once again. And this time around, Phoenix 1 are actually sending duo bottom, so you don't get to see the matched Australian lanes. Yeah. They do pull off that lane swap.
And as expected, Zilean. Ooh, missed that one. He did get that one, though. Ooh.
Now 1 out of 3.
That's
unlucky.
Exactly, yeah, not the best, but now they see that this swap is happening. Immortals very well practice it. As you said, this is a great opportunity to practice this lane swap scenario as Brandini now heads into the jungle to catch up with Inori.
Yeah, no lane CS there for Brandini. He wasn't able to get any of the melees before getting chased out, which is actually pretty uncommon. It did help out with the leash, but wasn't able to get up there in time before Turtle and Adrian arrived. So he'll be slightly behind when he meets up with Huni, who was able to get melee minions and then goes back into the jungle to help out before using that teleport to create the invulnerability to help push down the turret quicker. And that is going to mean that Phoenix 1, while yes, they are going to have the teleport advantage technically, they're going to have a slower turret push because it's not used on the minion, and he's not going to be there as early either. So we'll see if Immortals can actually make that transition into anything big, because it's pretty hard to use even a couple seconds lead on turret kills at the moment into anything meaningful, as Rifttail doesn't spawn till 6 and Dragon's easily contestable. We'll see though.
Pirean trying to shove up in this mid lane. Pobelter's matching as best he can as that top tier 1 will go down. Huni's trying to clear it out. Go for that solo gold. Needs a few hits. There he goes. Finally drops it. And Phoenix 1 on the opposite side do the same thing. Oh, add some damage onto Pirean. Slightly faster at taking that turret is Immortals with this pace.
Yeah, Zilean is kind of annoying to CS with, but Pirean's still having a rough time with it and is losing pretty handily in CS, just in the pure 1v1 here. As Vlad is zoning a lot and making him miss a lot of last hits here. Good job by Pobelter controlling this lane from very early on, forcing all the potions, denying CS, and having control while not really exposing himself either.
Vladimir sustaining so much, especially with the Doran's blades. Pirean can't even auto-attack. Whoa! Down to 200 health. And Inori's forced to head towards mid lane to catch some of these minions, but Pobelter's not going to let that fly so easy.
Ah, too bad. Forced to catch a cannon minion.
Yeah.
Gate here, though, is going to force Huni off and get some harass as he chases him through the jungle, plus cashing in with the spell Thieves, while they get that solo experience on match on the Vayne, which is very important. Here they go. Another strong push, though, on top side for Phoenix 1 as they try and trade again on turrets. And Immortals are going to answer, push up. They're already on the turret. They've retained that small couple seconds advantage in the turret pushing, and that looks like it should turn into the Drake afterwards. They have the extra time, plus everybody's bottom side for them, and they have mid lane control to boot. So Immortals looking like they will be the recipients of the early ocean once again.
Yeah, Reingover's actually already starting it out, not even going to wait for his team. We'll take some damage here. Ocean Drake not that terrifying. But the turret is taken. Gold actually split between the three.
Yeah, Huni, when he does meet back up with Brandini, has a pretty big lead here as far as the gold is concerned. Experience is starting to even out for them. But yeah, 500 gold as far as solo lanes is definitely important here in the early stages.
Reingover continuing to clear out Inori's jungle. He's already done the same on the other side of the map with that first Drake take by Immortals. They might be looking for a similar game to game number 2. Just a nice, clean, clinical match. And shut down Phoenix 1. Clip the wings if they can. But still a very slow game so far. Once again, Gate finds Huni and says, "Get out of here." Slow start to this game. After the lane swap.
Ooh, oh, Huni actually not going to get cut off there, as he's going to return to roaming on the top side. They swap it up once again. So they want to leave that wave so that Brandini can catch up, by the way, and hope that he can freeze. But Huni stayed down there, and Huni's going to try and break that freeze right now so that they have control on both side lanes right now. Look what Immortals have done. Manipulate both of the waves so they can converge on mid lane and try and apply pressure there. See if it actually manifests in anything, because it's so early on. It is still kind of difficult to take down this turret. The extra champion reduction in damage has just fallen off, though, so Immortals might actually be able to convert into extra turret gold here. Good wave clear from Zillion and Olaf combination, though.
They now rotate towards that blue buff after having the mid minions cleared out. And Inori's heading over there. He's got his smite, and that is going to be picked up by... Reingover currently has it, but Inori's smite went off.
A little bit early there.
Oops.
On the smite.
Yep.
And Reingover is going to be able to get that. Plus, you know, the big thing is just denying it there. But Pobelter, man, still control over mid lane. This has been the main story here for Immortals. Meanwhile, side waves have been really funneled into this Vayne. I mean, Phoenix 1, they want Mash to get to the point where he is the split pusher who, yes, can take on Alawi or Sivir, pretty much anyone who they send at him. So we'll see if he can get to that Blade of the Ruined King quickly, cash in on his cull. He's going to need that extra burst of gold to get there. As of right now, just soaking up that solo experience. And I want him to get to that split push Vayne point.
The ability to 1v1 anybody. And it's so interesting that it's Mash playing Vayne. That's a champion that seems like it just fits his style in that side lane. Immortals, though, they found him, and they're going to try to capitalize. He is level 6.
Yeah, plus he's got the minion wave to work with. Ward goes down, and immediately Immortals call it off there. They're out-leveled, and don't want to risk it here.
They take the long way around to catch up to the minions. And try to deny Mash. He completes his recall. Reingover continuing to farm it out. Inori is keeping pace, but 9 minutes in, of course, this slow game. Haven't seen anything too exciting outside of that lane swap. Ping now going down onto the Rift Herald by Immortals. They might be trying to set up for that.
They do have a decent amount of vision in the blue quadrant of the jungle. And as we keep on pointing out, Pobelter here has been crushing the control in mid lane. It hasn't resulted in a kill yet, but the large CS lead that he has is about the gold worth of a kill, plus constant pressure so that they can go for these jungle invades. And they've got wards on top of wards here, even overlapping in the blue quadrant of the jungle here.
Pirean forced to use his teleport to get back into that mid lane as Immortals clear out this side of the jungle. Monopoly on vision over there. Meanwhile, Inori's trying to help Brandini out, but apparently just finds himself sitting in that tri-bush, trying to bait this.
Yep, Huni's still holding onto that lead, and it's so hard for Brandini to do it himself to break this freeze. They have to call Inori over as well to make sure that it will crash and start to bounce back.
Mash gonna get some hits as Gate roams over. Adrian's down to half.
They can go on the chase here. They don't have a lot of vision though, and a counter gank is possible, so no point really extending there. He still wants to pop the call. He still wants to have his side lane experience. And Huni actually is able to keep the wave once again.
Yeah, meanwhile, Immortals pressuring the other 2-2 on the other side of the map. Trying to defend it. It's not going to take too much damage. Mash is able to catch a lot of these minions too.
Yeah, did miss that cannon minion. Bad for him as Immortals try and keep up the pressure.
And despite this being a much lower kill count game, it still seems like Immortals are the ones dictating the pace, using Pobelter's pressure in the mid lane to enable their side lanes to make things happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's a similar situation over on the other side where Phoenix One have been pushed up to the turret, but Phoenix One haven't been able to get the same kind of vision down to see any of the moves that Immortals are going with. Especially when Immortals decide to increase the pace of the game, you really need that advanced alert of the deeper wards down to see them coming. Because when Immortals move, they start to move very quickly. They have the highest kills per minute in their games of all the teams because they usually have the most frantic games where they'll start to push up a minion wave and then go for a fight. And you kind of get caught up in the constant skirmishes that they're forcing. This game, completely different story as they decided to just sort of milk this lane swap, and it's provided results for them here. Pretty substantial gold lead that they've been able to continue to squeeze out, not to mention the objective control.
Yeah, Inori looking for the hero axe over the wall. That's a double bomb and the axe, but Reingover does not falter. Second elemental Drake taken by Immortals. That's 2 Ocean Drakes, and the next one will be a mountain. Things looking good for Immortals fans, as Immortals find themselves 1,500 gold ahead and looking to expand it even more.
Yeah, looking to deny Phoenix One the series victory here. Even it up.
Immortals saying, we're the only team that's allowed to beat TSM.
Well, that's
yet to be proven.
Yeah, true. Yeah, Phoenix Ones are the team that actually have done it.
Blue buff now being gifted over. Oh, that was close.
I don't know if that's going to be enough to salvage this lane for Pirean. I mean, he has been able to kind of stop the CS lead from increasing. It's costing him a small amount of turret damage, but it's at the point now where the bombs, the double bombs, are actually killing the whole minion wave rather than leaving them low and then them dying to the other ones.
Whoa, Pobelter.
Dive though from Pobelter.
Oh, caught by the stun on the minions. He takes a lot of damage. Emo Plague. He's going to try to heal himself back up. Flash gets a lot of health, and Immortals escort him out.
Yeah, bit of a mistake there from Pobelter. Does cost him both summoners, but is able to return to their strong side of the map where their constant pressure up here gives him a safe area to retreat to, and he will live another day.
Meanwhile, that top tier 2 goes down. There's no answer yet from Phoenix One. They dive onto the mid lane. Pirean takes some damage. Teleport now being used. It's answered, as Brandini will cancel as Huni head towards that mid lane.
Backing off here as everybody full. Yeah, they're going to be able to retreat, but that is going to give up mid lane pressure. Even though Phoenix One are able to retreat after that failed tower dive, it gives priority over to Immortals, and they'll happily take the last outer turret here. You know what that means? Not only is the blue quadrant of the jungle going to constantly be warded, but Reingover's already moving into the red side with that sight stone and dropping more on the other side of the jungle too.
Woo. This guy is controlling the map, even a forward pink to steal away the red buff, and still Phoenix One find themselves on the defensive. Yes, they have a Vayne who is scaling up, but still hasn't completed that Blade of the Ruined King 15 minutes in, and with the pace that Immortals like to speed these games up to, MASH might not get the opportunity to wait for those 1v1 outplays, or even 1v5.
Hopefully for his sake, it's not 1v5.
Yeah.
Because those are very few and far between in League of Legends. Rarely do you ever get to the point where you can actually do that.
That's why we get so excited. That's why we're hoping that this Vayne is going to go crazy.
Every Vayne's got that dream. And that's why...
that's
where
right, yeah.
Vayne spotting comes from. Because everybody's got that dream. Yeah, very few get to live it.
I can do it. I can do it. Well,
Can you be the
no.
one?
Yeah. I feel like, whoa, gate. Oh, missed it. Lands the tether. Pobelter now spotted out by Inori. That's challenging Smite as well. He's trying to chase it out. But Pobelter's looking for the kill on the gate as he heals himself back up. There's MASH keeping away Reingover, but the collapse as he's forced to flash away. Cosmic Radiance stalls it out. MASH, Chrono Shift. He's got to get back in to reset it, but they're not attacking him. Oh, he's tumbling away. It does reset, but Immortals continue to chase. Flash Boomerang gets first blood for Wildturtle. A stun from Immortals locks down a few more, and Pirean will fall. Double kill to Wildturtle.
Vladimir just takes too long to kill, guys. And if you're going to miss the early burst, gotta give up on it. That's gonna cost a lot for Phoenix One, as Sivir team speed boost way more valuable there. Vayne getting chunked out and actually going down for the first blood kill. Immortals take a lot of gold there in addition to the early lead that they already had, and that might just be it here, as Brandini's gonna have to dodge a lot of tentacles under the turret.
The bell is tolling for Phoenix One as this Riptide is being taken. 5,000 gold lead, 15 minutes in. As Brandini's taking a lot. Huni's chasing. He's got the phage. Flash. Slam number one misses, but Brandini's got to dodge these tentacles. Okay, he gets out of range of that one.
Yeah.
Huni walking in a straight line.
Just gotta outrun the tentacle. People have started to play more and more Alawi, so everybody cognizant of the test of spirit. And whoa, here we go.
Okay. Uh-oh.
And get this one.
Yeah, Huni gets the dunk for a solo kill. 4-0 Immortals.
4-0, yet 10 minutes of complete map control as well before the kills started even to come in. So that's why it feels so one-sided right now. And this is where it all began. Okay, you missed the mantra Q, that's a lot of damage, but they still decide to force this without the deep vision that I talked about before, making informed decisions for Inori. This uninformed decision turns very badly for MASH, as he's the one right in the middle gets cut off there. Huge chunk out of him, and he's out of the fight now. Everybody's scrambling for the escape here, and Pirean does ult MASH when he's very low, but there's no incoming damage at the time. And since Turtle on Sivir can speed boost the entire team, gets in there for the flash boomerang to get the first blood, and they clean everyone else up. While Vladimir nerfs did hurt his damage building full tank, you still can't take him out, and he can still kind of bait you in for their time for the rest of the team to come collapse. Immortals do just that.
Now that Mountain Drake is the next target for Immortals. No opportunity for Phoenix One to fight this. As you take a look at the vision on the map, Immortals are completely dominant. And this is what we expected from the team that only yesterday went head-to-head with TSM. And the Giant Killers seems like they might have dulled their blades after game number one, as Phoenix One are finding themselves in trouble.
Well, this time around, Immortals have all the info as the gank squad walks over a ward on their way to topside, and they know that they can just make power moves on mid and bottom here. They're actually sending Sivir back to help Huni wave clear right now. The entire team retreating to defend this push top for Phoenix One. from Phoenix One. But everybody's just going to back off, and Pobelter with the impressive Vladimir auto attacks on the turrets.
Throwing blood. Well, he's got the Rift Herald buff.
Yeah.
So he's doing some empowered damage to it, but now Immortals get the opportunity to recall. Even still, that vision on that side of the map is so terrifying. Immortals, Reingover so close to the Death Bush, completely unfazed. I don't even know if he knows that it's there, but still clears out all the camps on that side and continues farming.
Yep, got to go with the sneaky plays once again for Phoenix One. Pretty big hole they're in. Got to dig yourself out with some true sight. There is that Blade of the Ruined King at least for MASH coming in to completion.
But if you take a look at the other side, it's one item, Blade of the Ruined King.
Whoa, baby!
Fight breaks out. Wildturtle, will the Cosmic Radiance pop in time? He gets the invulnerability. The stun lands onto MASH. There goes a big bomb. It's going to be blocked, though. And that's Turtle going down. Knockout from Reingover is able to kill MASH. And it ends up being a 1-for-1 trade for those 80 carries.
Teleport canceled for Brandini as well, so that means Phoenix One all have to scramble again here. Gate with the speed boost is going to be able to survive.
Pobelter is pushing, though. Does a lot of damage. Needs to be careful with the turret. He's going to be able to heal himself up quite a bit as Pirean. Whoa, Pobelter. He's got flash, and actually flashes in to try to pick up a kill. Brandini's about to go mega, but dies to Reingover as Pobelter. Oh my goodness.
Brute force here from Immortals past the turrets. Popping that. Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah.
No reason for him to go try and check that brush, and that will be a turret on the back of the extra kills here for Immortals. Or will it, as the minions return?
Yeah, Pobelter hasn't recalled yet. Oh, MASH has to dodge away. Pobelter gets some more.
Go on the
Slow
chase.
is going to land. He's got no summoners, but the Hemoplague lands. Huni over the wall. Gets the slam. That's one. That's two. And Inori will be three as the stun follows it up. Pobelter point, click, kill.
Phoenix One started the series with all the fireworks and got everyone hyped up, but then Immortals just quickly extinguished them in games 2 and here in game 3, making very quick work of Phoenix One.
Yeah, the Baron falls 22 minutes in. It's a 12,000 gold lead. That is a lot of items.
Take a look at the finish of the turret here. Gate a little bit close for comfort. They return. Okay. Turn does come with the speed boost match. Jukes the Terek stun, but ultimate makes him. All right, there we go. This is what everyone wants to see.
Oh.
Boop, boop.
Bop. Oh, Andy flash.
We've seen so many people actually flashing while one of those melee abilities have already been cast on them and dying after the flash. Very painful there. Not able to survive or have your flash for next time.
Yeah. Now with the Baron buff, Immortals are going to try to break an inhibitor because they've already cleared out all of the other turrets very early on. Setting up a 1-3-1. MASH will turn onto Turtle, dodges a bit of the damage. He's looking for the outplay. There's the Radiance. Teleport coming in. Huni's going to catch up. There goes a slam as Brandini's in the front. MASH kiting it around. Brandini hops back. But there's the test. He will be slowed. Saved at the last second by Pirean, but Pobelter flanks. There's another Hemoplague. He's in the turret. Zanyus resets as they get the kill onto Brandini. And Immortals continue to find these favorable fights.
Yeah, no more juice left in the tanks for Phoenix One. They have to return to the fountain and heal up. That's going to be the base wide open for Immortals.
Inhibitor turret falls and the inhib itself crumbles. And Immortals, so strong in this game. 23 and a half minutes in and racing for a faster game time than game 2.
Definitely want to head into playoffs on the right foot here for Immortals. Going to right the ship.
Pobelter walks into the turret, ignoring the minions, as he's now escorting another wave and the rest of Immortals siege it up. That turret is getting cleaned up so quickly. That's a second inhibitor going down as Immortals kites it around. 1 versus 3. He's looking for another play to add to the highlight reel. And just might find it as Pirean's forced to back away. Stun lands with that wall up. There goes the test. Gate gets caught by Reingover, and Immortals are cleaning this up. 24.5 minutes in, that's the Nexus turret. Number 1 going down. Pobelter resets on the far side. Mash is trying to dodge this out. Condemned against the wall. He's got some damage, but he just needs the time to dish it out. Huni zoning away in the front, drops the slam. Huni's going to get the kill onto Brandini and get another test of Spirit. Pirean trying to zone away, but Immortals will not be stopped by the likes of him. Pobelter, is so low, and Mash gets engaged upon by Reingover. Pobelter kites it forward again with the pool. Continues to heal it up. This guy will not die. 1-0-7, dealing so much damage as the Nexus falls. Pobelter finally gets another kill, and 14-1, Immortals put on a show.